your local election headquarters, and Congress is now tied up over sending money to foreign allies and securing the nation's border. Some of Louisiana's delegation, including Senator Bill Cassidy, are among the voices calling now for more focus to be put on America's southern border. He's joining us now in studio to address the matter and touch on other legislation he is currently working on. Senator Cassidy, a pleasure having you this morning.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk border. You think that before we send money to our allies, we need to focus on our southern border. Tell us what you think about that.
Oh my gosh. 8 million people have crossed that southern border illegally since Joe Biden took office. Last Sunday, they set a record 12,000 people in one day.
Yep.
Now, it turns out the administration has every tool they need. Congress has given the president the tools he needs to control the border, but he's not. So we as Republicans say, wait a second. We know you want the aid for Israel, so do we, but we've got to control our southern border, not just with money, but with policy and with a commitment to actually use that policy.
Sure.
So we're trying to use this time to get the president to do what he should be doing anyway.
And what do you think that is? What policy should be implemented at the border? How do we stop so many illegal crossings?
Well, many of them are claiming asylum. Mm-hmm. Now, you would think of asylum would be for someone who's going to be persecuted. But as it turns, many of them just kind of have economic problems back home, so they're moving here. That's not a qualification. So one thing that you can do is to say, wait a second, before you apply for asylum, you have to apply for asylum in the country from which you originate. And if not, you have to go back to that country. So if you're starting off in Venezuela, you have to apply for asylum in Venezuela. You can't apply for it at the border. That would be one thing that would immediately stop. Mm-hmm. So just one example. There's lots of other examples. This president should be using them.
Let's talk about here at home. Let's talk about Social Security. Now, you are urging the administration to protect those who are the most vulnerable. What does that mean? Who are you hoping to protect?
Federal agencies often don't work well, but in this case, Social Security may make an overpayment to someone and years later ask for it to be paid back. So take someone who gets an overpayment when she is 70, and now she has to pay back when she's 82. She no longer works, she's on a limited income, and she's got to pay money back from 12 years ago. First, you shouldn't make the overpayment. But secondly, there should be some awareness that if you wait too long to ask for it back, it's going to be difficult to do so. So we're trying to protect both the overpayment, but also to make sure that if you ask for repayment, it's kind of reasonable. The federal government sometimes is so kind of first makes a mistake, and then by golly, we're going to fix it no matter the consequences to the individual American. We want them to be aware of the mistake and of the consequences.
Well, Senator Cassidy, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Thank you for all of the work that you are doing to help Louisianans and really all Americans. We appreciate your time this morning once again.
Thank you, Fernando.
All right, guys, stay with us. We'll be right back.